Got a good debate. Jeff Bagwell versus Eddie Murray. Who would I take? Ooh, Jeff Bagwell. And this is talking about modern great first basemen because sometimes people get in their feelings about where you rank. Well, if you take Jeff Bagwell's base running, his field work and everything, he ranks pretty high. Now, is he Albert Pujols high? No. But amongst his peer core, very few are seeing him. Like when I think about Rafael Palmeiro, who did have the stats, just never really. It was kind of like a dude who was a have more prolific version of Keith Hernandez. But do I think he was better than Hernandez? See, these things are very misleading because sometimes you see numbers, you see stats, and you think a dude is really all that, and then it depends on how you leveling at it. But Jeff Bagwell, in his favor, was very complete. Beat you with the stick and beat you in the ground. He was very versatile. He spent his entire career with Houston, and the killer beats him and Craig Biggio. But do I think how he stacks up against Eddie Murray? Well, he's got a higher batting average, and I think there's a couple things that goes in his favor. But there are tiers to this, and the thing is that so often than not, people look at what you did or where you were. Now, some people may hold that Minute Maid ball. They may Enron. That was, you remember how it was the orange? That ballpark was like kind of like playing in Coors Field for Colorado. Todd Hilton is another one. Sometimes you benefit from a prolific offense, and sometimes it works against you. It all depends on where we're coming from. But and Bagwell, sadly, they did they missed out on winning the chip. They did go, I think the World Series against Chicago White Sox. They missed out. They didn't really start to be dominant till sadly like years after he had retired. He missed out on that. Because the Astros the last decade, as you know, regardless of where you come down on it, have been one of the most dominant teams. So he missed out on that. But the offensive dominance he was part of with him and Craig Biggio. Now, asking me, Eddie Murray was one of the best players I ever saw switch hitter. And I know everybody gonna slurp up Mickey Mantle, and Mickey Mantle before my time. I did see Eddie Murray. I saw highlights. I don't think Mickey Mantle could hang with Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray was something else. Because I put it to you like this. I think Cal Ripken Jr.'s career would have been even better. That's right, I said it. I watched him play, and believe me, Ripken hit 3,000, had 3,000 hits, and he was one of the greatest players ever. And he had that consecutive game streak, and maybe he had all the innings along with it, broke Lou Gehrig's record. But I think that it hurt him because he didn't have a stick that could protect him. And I think not having Eddie Murray was one of the greatest switch hitters ever. He was from his Baltimore Oriole days. He was in the Dodgers. He could ball wherever he went. And he was low key.